Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm CBS 11 meteorologist Jeff Ray. A special webcast for you, and over my shoulder here, just a beautiful shot of Fort Worth, the east side looking off to the east. Blue sky today. What a great Saturday to enjoy. We're at 62 degrees when we were taping this. Is at 10:46. We've got this nice southeast wind, and that'll be a little breezy through the day. But about these days, I know March now, but 17 days to the first day of spring. We're 29 days away from Easter, and in 26 days, baseball season starts. Yes, literally spring is in the air, isn't it? Let's take a look at the satellite radar review, and you're going to see some cloud cover streaming up from the south. Now, these clouds, they'll show up later in the day. There's no rain in the forecast for your Saturday, but as we get into Sunday, there is rain in the forecast. But today, enjoy it. Temperatures will peak up into the low 70s, upper 60s in many locations with that southeast wind and all that sunshine. But future sky forecast shows the cloud cover. It's going to be building up through the overnight hours. Now, we are talking about a little bit of drizzle, light rain around in the overnight and morning hours to start your Sunday with. So Sunday is going to be kind of a dreary day with the cloud cover to start, the drizzle around. Then we're going to have the shower activity start to pick up. In fact, by 7 in the morning, you already start to see spotty shower activity. There's a few thunderstorms, I think, in the mix here, but nothing severe anticipated tomorrow. As we get later in the afternoon, you can see what the forecast models are doing. This one representing kind of the general consensus is that really isolated, scattered stuff for the Metroplex out to the west and Bowie and Stephenville. But when we talk about Paris and Palestine, we're talking about much better chances of rain as we get into the afternoon hours on your Sunday. And again, a few thunderstorms in the mix here, some strong gusty winds with those, but otherwise nothing severe. And then this is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see the activity is really more and more confined to the east side. So Sunday, tomorrow, not a washout by any stretch of the imagination. And as we get into the start of the work week, you're talking about temperatures very mild to start today. We do have a cold front that will be coming in as we go through Sunday night into Monday morning. You see that front arrive, and that's going to clear things out for us. So as we're talking about going into the work week, well, I know a lot of people are concerned about all the rain we've had of late. This event that's tomorrow is going to bring just a minuscule amount of rain. No worries about a flood threat or adding to the river flooding that's already going on. Rainfall amounts are going to be extremely light, in most cases between a trace and 0.05 of an inch. Some instances where those thunderstorms form, especially in eastern counties, over in Freestone as well as Henderson down to a southeast, and then over in Van Zant or maybe Hopkins counties, you might get a thunderstorm, and that thunderstorm might bring you a half an inch of rain, maybe even more briefly. Most of this activity is going to be so sporadic, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem for anybody really as far as these flooding problems. And this is even better news because of all the rain we have had in the last week of February, and that's the only reason I would say this. Otherwise, living in North Texas, you never curse the rain. But this is going to be a dry period ahead. We have a little bit of rain tomorrow, I know, but for the most part, next week looks to dry. This is running from March 8th to 12th, and you can see how the prediction models here from the Climate Prediction Center are saying that there's a good chance we have abnormally dry weather for Texas. And it looks like there's a decent chance that this doesn't mean more dry. This just means better chance of it drier than normal. So let's take a look at the 3-day forecast. As you plan your work week ahead, you can see there's no talk of rain. Now, there will be some wind. We got a breezy day on Monday. On Tuesday, a little bit of a southwest wind. Temperatures are mild in the 60s, so nothing too warm, but nothing too cold. And we're certainly not talking about any freezes in the 7-day forecast. Interesting to note, because it looks like this is going to go down as maybe the last freeze. Oh, I don't know why I always get those confused. But as far as the start of the growing season, remember last year, the last freeze of the season was January 8th. Well, this one is going to be, looks like February 12th, and that's the 4th earliest last freeze. So we again start the growing season rather early here across North Texas. And again, I point out there's no freezes in the forecast, but you do notice there's some 30s in there, especially that 36 on Thursday. So mild conditions, dry conditions, a couple of breezy days, but your best chance of rain in the week ahead is going to be on your weekend, and that's going to be tomorrow, especially the first half of the day. Thank you for joining us here on the web, and Annalise Parks will have a full update on your forecast for the afternoon hours as we get into the early evening and later on tonight as well. So make sure to join her then.